Hi everybody, it's Dominic from theMSguide.com, and today we've got a very special guest from thousands of miles away. It's Anjali Vyas, and she is in India, and she is an advocate for the MS Society of India, and she's had MS for a while. And rather than me tell you all about Anjali, I'll let her.
Hello, hi everyone. My name is Anjali Vyas, and I am the team member of the National Advocacy team of MS Society of India. I hail from a very small town in the state of Maharashtra in India, which is the central part of the country. And I am actually by qualification, I'm a chemical engineer, but because of MS, I had to switch my career from engineering to training and teaching. So I am a professional IELTS trainer, and I have been now training people in international English language testing systems since the last 4 years. Having said that, I also actually have been associated with the MS Society of India since 2018, where I started voluntarily working for this organization at a very small regional level first in India.
Right. Can you just give me an idea of how many people have MS,
Right.
the general population, which, because I suspect the ratio is much lower, and how many neurologists do you have? This was a frightening thing. The neurologists that specialize in MS.
True. So, well, in a highly populated country like India, we have got around 1,500 neurologists to treat over 2 billion people.
Highly populated is 1.9 billion, if I remember.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Pretty poor ratio.
And it's still, yes, it is poor, quite poor. In fact, if I were to really say neurologists particularly, these neurologists are not really the specialized ones in MS. There's also misdiagnosis in many cases, where sometimes it's too late in some of the cases of people living with MS. So that's a very sad part in India. Google tells us that there are 2 to 3 lakh cases in India.
Yeah. But not all are diagnosed. Is that the estimate of
exactly? Yes. Right. Yes. And if you ask us, with MS Society of India, we have got around 3,000 patients registered with us so far. I'm talking about thousands now. So we can see the huge gap here, and we have to still figure out how to let these people register with us, how to create awareness on MS, even in this general crowd living in India.
Wow. It's just, I mean, the numbers are astonishing because on the one hand, it sounds like a lot of people have got MS, and we got to be clear, that's the imagined load based on the actual diagnoses, of which there's not as many. And then set against the general population, that's a big number. I don't think people really understand. And I also don't think everyone appreciates the actual physical size of India. The amount of neurologists is actually pretty low compared to our population. Then the ones that specialize in MS, you could probably count them on one hand. Anjali, I think what's in everybody's heads watching this now will be, what kind of drugs do you get? How does it work? Let's assume that you've been diagnosed and that they decided that you've got MS and that you need a disease-modifying therapy. What is there and how is it paid for?
Okay. So, well, since the awareness in MS is very low, in fact, when it comes to also treatment and medicines, to manage multiple sclerosis, again, there we actually find it difficult. Right. But here we have to travel 70 kilometers away to get ourselves assessed, to see a neurologist, and then also to buy medicines, injections, for instance, interferons.
You have to buy them, interferons?
Yes, we have to buy them. Yes, we have to buy them from a dealer, somebody from a pharmacy who actually keeps it in stock, that too we have to let them know beforehand that we're going to come and then buy, so that way it helps them to arrange those drugs for us.
Well, they're very how much, can I ask how much you pay for them?
Well, it's in Indian rupees, it's 6,000 rupees per interferon, per injection.
6,000 rupees an injection?
Yes.
Right. Wow.
And in my case, I have been told to take interferons every week for the rest of my life.
Every week? So you take it once a week?
most of the population in our country comes from a middle class family, right? Where, of course, diagnosis is hefty. In fact, even the diagnosis for these people is hefty. Forget about the treatment then. I have seen helpless parents really putting on their children because they cannot afford the treatment. They simply say that, I'm really sorry, ma'am, but we really can't afford the treatment. So we'll just let our children be.
Anjali, this is all, it strikes me as it's also very new, and we know that closer to the equator, there tends to be less MS relatively. So there's that. Plus, you're in the middle of a COVID pandemic, so you're kind of hiding at home to make sure you don't catch COVID, something that we're very used to here. The MS Society of India that you're active in, what would you say is going to be their next big challenge, and when do you think they'll be able to say we've achieved something significant?
And at MS Society India, in fact, it has been a very long battle for us to actually ask the government of India to recognize MS as a condition that causes disability. Right. We're an established organization from 1985, since 1985, and in 2016, the government of India has finally recognized MS as a disease that causes disability. Finally, now we can also lobby and talk to the government to help us in various issues when it comes to assessment, research in MS, or treatment for that matter. But unfortunately, despite being a part of the Rights of the Persons with Disabilities Act of India, the act does not really consider the invisible symptoms of multiple sclerosis.
Right.
So, there's a proper mechanism that the doctors usually follow when they assess us to give us a disability certificate with a particular percentage. Unfortunately, in order to qualify as a person with disability, one must have minimum 40% disability, right? Which is really not the case with most of us, because I look absolutely normal. If I go to the hospital and ask them to help me with the assessment of disability in MS and give me a certificate, they will straight away shut me, because they'll tell me that you look absolutely fine. Why do you want to get a disability certificate? And we have to convince them. We have to also sensitize, educate them on MS. We have to tell them that, see, listen, it's not really the way we look. There are hidden symptoms. There are invisible symptoms of MS, which are not really understood by people. For instance, I have fatigue issues. I have urinary incontinence. I have brain fog. How do you assess that in the act, right? And the true assessment, if you have to do of an MS person, you really need to consider these issues as well. On which we are actually fighting since a year. In fact, we recently, last year, in the month of October, ran a campaign, our advocacy campaign on invisible symptoms, where we requested the government to reassess MS. We wrote letters to the Health Minister of India. In fact, at the regional and state level as well, people and our offices and chapters were writing letters and recommendations to their governments to consider MS as a disease that also has an invisible symptom, in fact, many invisible symptoms, and they should take due consideration of that while they're assessing a person with disability.
So, Anjali, thank you very much. And we're going to catch up again soon, because the MSguide is nothing if not international. I have 2 passports and I've been to 35 countries, and I do not intend to let MS be just a British thing. We don't own MS. So it's really interesting to see how other people do it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.